Hello, everybody, and welcome. I know we're a little bit started right away, but welcome to the High Velocity Racing League Turnin Laps podcast on this wonderful Friday evening, right before our Cup Series race. We got me, Chase, and we got the two Seans sitting here with me too. Sean Wilder, Sean Happy Happick. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yep, I'm doing good as well, sir.
Well, first week of the season 3 for trucks and the inaugural seasons for both Gen 6 and ARCA. Uh, Overall, not too terribly bad. How'd you guys feel through the first week?
Go ahead, Sean. You can take that one away.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good racing for Daytona, especially the Gen 6. Trucks was a pretty good race too. I thought it was pretty clean racing for Daytona, to tell you the truth, out the get-go. So I think we're off to a good start.
A lot of people got away with limited amount of incident points. That's going to really help the people out who are having to deal with that IPL between the trucks and the ARCA. Those who have high incidents per lap right now, you got some work to do for the next couple of weeks to try to get that knocked down before we get to the IPL review in week number 4. So, let's talk about Daytona. We'll start it off with the Truck Series, where I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Wilder, you were sitting on the pole for that, right?
Yes, sir. Surprisingly, usually not the best super speedway guy, but I've kind of figured out the qualifying thing, and I was kind of surprised. I figured I'd be up there, but I didn't think that pole was gonna stick. Really, I figured somebody would come in and top my time, but it stuck, and I'll take it. That's where you want to start.
Yep. And honestly, you were in the booth for that one, Happy. Overall, not a bad race from the booth as well, right?
No, I mean, I really couldn't go back and watch a lot of the replays because just had some technical issues. But as far as the racing goes, no, I was really surprised. Way better, and it was our best season starter of any of the 3 seasons or other 2 seasons we've had. So I felt like it, even though it may have still been a decent amount of cautions, it really didn't feel like it. I just thought it was pretty good racing up and down.
It felt like the first 2 stages went by without a hitch, really. There were, I believe, it was only 2 cautions in each of the first 2 stages, including one of them being right at the stage break both times, unfortunately. So we weren't able to race back for the stage. But yeah, it seemed like a very overall clean first 2 stages, and then we got to that third stage, and kind of like how you guys were talking about on the broadcast, cautions breed cautions, and it kind of got a little bit out of hand there at the end.
Yeah, it's kind of how it goes. Everybody's trying to, especially towards you get towards that last stage, everybody's trying to get up front. That's when you want to try to get up front, and especially if you're in the back, you got to at least try to, gain some positions and make some moves to get up at least halfway through the pack and start working towards the front. And then when you get to the end, it's kind of there's going to be cautions. People are going to start making some aggressive moves and 3 wide. We went 3 wide. Oh no, that may have been Gen 6. Yeah, we were. But I mean, there was some really good racing. I didn't see anything. There was a lot of new guys in, obviously, and there was 47 trucks or so.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a big field, and I all the new drivers that have came in seem to be very uh, courteous and aware of their space and what's going on around them. So that's really good to see.
Yeah, it was something we
We
were
do
kind
have
of.
a good.
I was gonna say it's something we
We
were
do
kind of
have,
lacking in the start of the first race. I think a lot of people just kind of took space whenever they had an opportunity, rather than being a lot more give than take. So I think that played a big factor. Go ahead, Happy.
we do have a good group of guys in this truck series. It seems. I mean, everybody's signing in. Everybody's doing. It just seems like everybody's doing everything right. It's like these people may actually read the rule book. I mean, you can tell not all of them have, but I understand it. But I mean, with the sign-ins going, with everybody giving space out there, not ARCA breaking, it just seems like a real bunch of a big group of good truck guys in here this season.
Yeah, and we can.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have. I mean, what do we? I can't remember how many races we have in the regular season, but I mean, I'm feeling like Chris won the race, by the way, and he's sitting nice for this week, and he doesn't have to stress over qualifying to get in and things like that. We were talking about that today. So I mean, it's going to be winning you're in is a big deal, I think, this season, because looking at this list, I mean, I can count off, probably 15 guys off the get-go that I know can win a race, and I'm sure there's probably another 10 or maybe even 15 after that that I don't know, and they probably can win a race. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of drivers that have an opportunity to win in your end. You've only got 9 races in the regular season to make it happen. So, I mean, there's a guarantee of at least 3 drivers making it in on points. I don't foresee a play where we're all going to be getting that many race wins, but different race winners. I could be wrong. Happy. I mean, you guys thought last year was going to probably be 4 or 5, and we ended up with, I believe, 12, I think, or 11 different race winners. So, I mean, it could definitely go that way.
6, and I think we had 12.
Yeah.
For sure. I think I was hoping for 6. We got 12. And, I can see by season's end, we can have 4 or 5 different winners. But so many people in the league racing, I guess we can have more than that.
Yeah, like you said.
We don't have another super speedway in the regular season, do we?
No. That I don't know. Somebody have to check on that. But we'll quickly go over like the top 10 or 15 drivers here from this week. We got Chris Weiniger did get the win. Teammate Bobby Grady comes home P2. So good 1-2 finish there for K&W. Tyler Starcher, he finishes in the 3rd position, but unfortunately we heard the news that he's not going to be able to complete the rest of the season. So unfortunate for the number 30 to not be able to continue on. Zach Tyler, he comes home 4th with Ryan Seabolt running out the top 5. Kufel in 6th, who had led the most laps with 42 laps led and had to pit going on to the last green white checkered and was able to come back to 6th. So a good run there for the number 9. Corey Moore in 7th, Randy Post in 8th, Kenan Cook in 9th, and Frank Zimmel rounding out the top 10. We'll go over the top 15, I guess. Kyle Rogers comes in 11th. Sean Wilder, you ended up finishing in 12th. Brad Dorr, 13th. Kean Fry, 14th. And Justin Nava rounding out the top 15.
Yeah. I seriously cannot even remember all the things that happened in the race. There's been a lot going on this week, but I know I did get shuffled back. I was up front, and then I kind of just laid back a little bit and tried to give up my teammates, and we kind of hung out. And then I think I just got shuffled back and couldn't really get back up there at the end. But yeah, congrats to Chris and Bobby. Bobby almost got 2 wins this week. And Tyler Starcher is a new driver to the league. So, yeah.
Yeah. I gambled and I lost my gamble. So unfortunate for me, I ended up outside the top 20, but we were able to get a 1-2 finish for our teammates. That was what was important to me. So,
yeah.
And looking at the season standings.
Looking, Matt.
What's that?
Had a good job.
What's that?
Oh, how are your exits looking? How are your incidents looking?
Oh, I only got 8. I got 8, so it's not terrible for a Daytona. It's better than last year. If I remember, I think I had like 20 or 22 last year. So I will take the 8 from this one. Leading the point standings though is Mike Kufel, 61 points. He had 30 bonus points, so he had a plethora between stage points and just regular bonus points for leading laps and such. Zach Tyler is 2nd in the points right now. Race winner Chris Weiniger, he is in 3rd in the points, but he's locked into the playoffs already with that race win. Tyler Starcher is 4th. Bobby Grady 5th. Corey Moore 6th, as is Sean Wilder with those stage points that you got and bonus points and such. Kyle Rogers and Seabolt are tied in the 8th position, and right now, rounding out the top 10, Randy Post in that 10th position. So,
yeah, just look at the schedule. There is no more super speedways in the regular season. Not till the first race of round of 12 is the New Atlanta.
Well, there we go. And so anybody who's got that super speedway background is going to have to wait until the playoffs in order to get there. So drivers like Kufel and honestly myself, I'm not an ace on the super speedways, but I know how to get around them pretty good. We'll have to wait until the playoffs in order to try to get another race win under their belt. And I think that's everything for trucks.
You want to do picks for next week, or we want to?
Oh, for this week? Oh, man.
For Chicagoland?
Chicagoland this week.
I already made my pick. I'm going with Danny Gross. I think he's
won it last season.
That's a
yeah,
safe.
he won it last season. He's quick, man.
Wilder, you were quick there too. I think you ended up with a fourth. Yeah. You and I battled for that fourth position there at the end. I think you have a chance at winning it. I'm gonna put my money on you this week.
Well, I'll stay with Gross.
You're going with you're going with Danny?
Yeah. I'll go with Danny. I mean, I felt like he kind of dominated it last season.
Well, there were some other drivers that were up front. I think Bobby Grady was up front for a while, leading some laps there at Chicagoland. I think there were a couple of others. I don't remember. I know there was a contact.
I led a few until I wrecked out.
That's right. You did lead a few. I'm trying to remember who else won. Who else had led some laps there?
Bobby finished P2.
Yeah.
So last year.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who else was up there. Yeah. George was up there for a while, but then he fell back when you and I were battling.
George was up there. I mean, he may have finished third. I watched a little bit of it because Cameron was talking about.
And then I know
his accident.
And then I know Kufel was up there as well, but then I think we both got by him during pits again. So
at the end there,
yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting race.
All right.
Interesting for sure. We'll see what happens this Sunday. And with that, we will jump into Gen 6.
Let's lean into it. Yeah, there you go. Before I gotta go.
Yeah, we'll go into.
I didn't really participate in ARCA, so.
Yeah, we'll go into Gen 6 next. Those cars are tough to drive. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but those cars were real tough to drive.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like, I felt like they moved around a lot. Like, it was hard to keep them straight, especially in the corners. Like, they would kind of drift up, and people were kind of getting tight and then loose a little bit, kind of off the corner, especially off of 4. It seemed like to me. But it was interesting. I'm sure a lot of us are probably pretty new to those cars. We haven't ran them in this league before, and I don't have a lot of experience with them at all. This is probably only my third race with them, but it was pretty crazy, kind of unexpected, that they were that much of a handful.
Yeah, Happy, how did you feel about them?
They were hardly fun or very challenging, but fun at the same time.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. They were fun. They did move around a little bit more in the draft than I thought they would, for them being fairly planted cars. So, but it was fun to get out there with a group of guys that you really know, most of them already. You feel more confident side drafting and bump drafting once you learn the car a little bit. Yeah, it was a good time, man.
Yeah, we had 20 drivers out there for the first race of the season, with a couple of people taking provisionals for the first race.
Yeah, I think we got like 24 signed up now, 25, something like that.
Perfect. Yeah, we got a decent amount of drivers in there. If we can continue getting full rounds of people in there, that'd be great. We'll see how that goes going forward. But yeah, no, you kind of alluded to it in the truck results, but the race winner was Bobby Grady, getting the monkey off his back, winning his first race, I think, ever in High Velocity Racing League. So congratulations to Mr. Grady. Beaten Happy here by 1/1000th of a second. He finishes in the second position, with William Kern in third, Bryce Tucker fourth, Justin Nava rounding out the top 5. And then Brandon Dayhoff in 6th. Wilder, you come home 7th. Myself in 8th. Weiniger in 9th. He battled back from some issues there. Had to run from the back with an EOL or something. I can't remember exactly what happened to the 53, but he comes home 9th. And then rounding out the top 10, Cameron Pendergrass. So that was the top 10. Good run for everybody there. Honestly, we kept it pretty clean. A couple of incidents causing some cautions there in the third stage. But yeah, overall, not bad.
Yeah, I don't think we had a caution until like lap 60 something. So out of our 80, so that was pretty good. And speaking on Will in third, that dude, he was caught up in everything. I don't know how he finished the race, let alone got third.
I know. I mean, there was one point where he was behind you, and I was trying to push him up to you, and I got him in the wrong spot on the backstretch and sent him down into Tucker. And I apologize to Tucker for that too. I didn't realize how bad it was, but I went back and watched it, and I was like, oh wow, he really got Tucker on that too. So yeah, no apologies to.
He spun out,
yep,
in the pit.
That's right.
I mean, he just had but he's still. I mean, hey, just stay with it, man.
Yep, he got a caution at the right time too, because after that time where I dumped him down to the infield, caution came out about 3 or 4 laps after that incident happened. So he was pretty fortunate in that regard, where he was able to get back caught up and then into position to potentially put himself in the spot for a race win. So.
It's a horseshoe hanging off the rear view.
Yeah, I know. He's got that horseshoe every week. But yeah, no, he did a good job. I know that I ran with him quite a bit. He was pushing me around the track for pretty much most of the race, honestly. He was right there tucked up to my back bumper, and we were able to get some stuff done. Pushing wasn't too bad. If you got locked up to the car in front of you, there wasn't really much you could do other than getting off-center and hooking them. I know I pushed Tucker quite a bit, and we were able to make some headway all around the high side. Happy. I know Kern was able to push you as well around the high side, but like you kind of said, Wilder, once you got into those corners, it almost felt like the car just wanted to travel up the track to the wall immediately if you were on the high side, especially if you were on the high side.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed also is the side draft is it's a factor with these cars for sure. You could really slow a car down if you get on the quarter panel, and it kills their speed. These things have the big old spoilers in the back, and it just is like a parachute when you get up on the rear quarter. So yeah, that's another thing I noticed there. But yeah, I mean, it was fairly caution free for a lot of the race, so that was good.
You got something, Happy? You look like you were gonna say something.
No,
okay.
Nope. I'm just looking forward to it. Thank God we have a fast repair. That's all I'm saying. Maybe it gives us a little bit more confidence, but I know going into next week, I feel like I'm going to need it.
Well, we'll take a quick look at the season standings after that little conversation. Bobby Grady does lead it. He does have the race win, so he's locked into the playoffs already. And then after that, it is Bryce Tucker in second. Happy, you are in third in the points. Kern in fourth. Dayhoff tied with Weiniger for fifth in the points right now. Wilder, you're in seventh. Nava is in eighth, and myself and KT tied for ninth in the top 10 of the points right now. So those drivers below will have some work to do going forward for the last 8 races of the regular season.
Yeah, I think we got some drivers down below that line too that might make a push to get up in the top. So should be a good season, man.
Yeah, I mean,
like a bunch of clean drivers, and we're all kind of figuring out the car together, I think so.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's drivers like Kevin Fry. He didn't even race in this race. He took a provisional for the first week, so he's a talented driver. He's been very close to race wins in the Cup Series. He will probably contend for multiple race wins this season in Gen 6. Caleb Hunt, he showed some talent there in the number 78 this past week, as did Travis George, Randy Post, Zach Tyler. Those guys all were fast in the trucks last season. They'll be fast in this car, it feels like, as well. And with that, we're going to Rockingham next week, which I know has been criticized a little bit by the Mr. Owner down there, by me building this ridiculous schedule, this grueler of a schedule. But yeah, 165 laps at Rockingham for week 2. Just kind of following what the old NASCAR schedule used to be. They used to go to the Rock in week 2 all the time.
Yeah, I like the choice, really. I did some laps last night and over the past couple nights, and you're not just going to rip around the track at full speed. It's going to be interesting. Strategy is going to come into play. You're going to have to save your stuff. There's probably going to be incidents coming off of 2. Tires are going to be worn out. So, I mean, to me, that makes for fun racing. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
It ain't Daytona, I'll tell you that.
I mean, Daytona really wasn't go fast and hold it wide open, turn left though either. To be fair, with all that pushing we had on the high side, but yeah. Any picks? We want to do picks for this one, or we just want to wing it and say whoever wins is going to be lucky?
I have a pick. Just because I did some laps with him, and he seems he's got his head wrapped around this track and the kind of a strategy is Travis George. I think he could come in and be running up there and get a win here.
All right, Happy. Any picks?
Travis is definitely fun. No, I mean, no, because I don't know anybody. Like Wilder said, I think we're all just kind of learning these tracks, man. I think anybody can have a boo-boo, even Will or a Fry, because it's just I mean, these cars are tanks. We'll give them that. But still, that Rockingham wall comes up quick. And that'll be some good wheel damage when you hit that at the right angle. So,
and not just
I just think it's kind of up for grabs.
I say not just that though. I mean, the car gets, for anything that I've done anyway, the car likes to get loose on exit. I don't know if you guys had that happening for you during the practice session as well. So the car likes to break loose. So that's something you're going to have to watch off of 2 and off of 4 in particular. I didn't have this situation happening too much in entry, but it is real loose on exit.
That's what it seems like. It's tight in and loose off, especially when you get some wear on the tires. Especially out of 2, you hit those little bumps. Coming out of 4, you're trying to keep it down off that wall. If you put, I think it's all about wheel input with this car. That's what I gathered last night. You don't want to put too much wheel input into it. You want to minimize that as much as possible to keep the tires as fresh as you can, you know.
Taking a look at the people who have already checked in to try to make a pick here. And I think I'm going to go with a safe pick here and go Kevin Fry as the race winner. I know he's had some difficulties in the Cup Series as far as locking down the race wins, but he's been quick all season there, so I think he can do the same here in Gen 6. All right. I think that's it for Gen 6. And now we move on to ARCA.
Well, that is it for me too, guys. I appreciate it. We'll catch y'all. I'll probably catch you after this race tonight. So good luck, anybody that's racing in it, and I will see y'all later.
Have fun at softball.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks, man.
I hope you strike out 3 times.
Me too.
See you later.
Dang,
and hit a home run.
Hope you wreck out of Rockingham.
Wow.
Sure you do.
Later.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, so yeah, now on to ARCA. And let's see, Tuesday night we had 31 drivers out there on track. So you were in the booth for that. So
yeah, we were hoping to get more. It's kind of unfortunate. I mean, we got 60 drivers in the series, as the trucks has, a lot of drivers too, but they're all checking in and being active and showing up. We kind of need that more out of the ARCA series. We got about 58 drivers somewhere in there, maybe 60 because we added a couple more lately. We're trying to get the numbers up. We know there's going to be some attrition as the season goes, but we want to start out and have a full field as best we can. I mean, it seems like we can get drivers pretty easily, but I also don't want to overpopulate it to where we're having to race in a rookie series where people are trying to learn and gain experience. So we want them all to race, and but we need a little more participation from the guys that signed up. But we'll start cleaning up the server once after this week, and I know there's some people out there that aren't really participating. So, but Carson Smith got the win, man. He's one of our younger participants, and he races like what do you say? He raced the micro cars at Millbridge actually. So so that's what he does in his off time. But yeah, he had a good race. He kind of, at the end, I'm not going to lie, he kind of got lucky. The first 5 cars or 6 cars wadded up coming right before, or coming out of 4, coming to the line. So he kind of just skated through there without damage and kind of stole the win there. But, I mean, he kept it clean the whole race. So, I mean, props to him for keeping it clean and staying out of trouble and making it that far and putting himself in position, really.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, you know how it is. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And in that case, for Carson, he got lucky. But coming away with the race win's a big points day for him. He does get that first race win in the ARCA Series under his belt. Second place was Ryan Stevenson. Third, Sean McLean. Fourth, Andrew Ziegler. Fifth, Tyler Ballman. Scott Stotler in sixth. Brandon Dayhoff wrecking across the line in seventh position. Forrest Martin in eighth. James Bolka in ninth. Jace Keller rounding out the top 10. Gregory Vadney. If I butcher that, I'm sorry, Greg. You come home in the 11th position.
It's Vadnais, like
Vadnais?
mayonnaise.
Gotcha.
Vadnais, that's how.
Gotcha. In 12th, we had Thad Miller. 13th was Brent McKee. 14th, Josh Revel. And Tim the Toolman Taylor comes home in 15th. That rounding out the top 15. Everybody else has some work ahead of them in race number 2 to try to get some more points and get higher up in the standings.
Yeah, Ryan Stevenson. I mean, he was in a lot of the incidents, and I was kind of surprised to see him there at the end. But he made himself up to the front there at the end when it mattered. So I mean, that's good for him, man. Recovering from all those incidents he had, and Sean McLean, he was up towards the front most of the race, and just kind of stayed out of that last incident. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it wasn't the cleanest race. I'm not gonna lie. It was a messy Daytona race, but a lot of guys got incident points. That's one thing I did want to bring up tonight is just you guys are new to the league, and check out the incidents per lap that you have now. We got 90 laps at Vegas next week. So 90 laps, well, you can knock a lot off that incident per lap percentage, I guess you'd call it. So just just keep that in mind when you're going through the Vegas race. Leave extra room around you. You've raced with some of these guys. We've had preseason races, so there might be guys that you might want to stay around. Just give people extra space and just be very aware and try to limit the incident points. You want to, if you want to preserve your season, I would say, you know what I mean? You don't want to get behind the 8 ball early, so.
Yeah, I pulled up the leaders in incidents right now here from the race results. James Bolka and Kenyo de Oliveira. If I got that one wrong, I apologize. But you guys both have 32 incident points. So with that being said, your best bet, especially if you're if you've got about 20 or more, is you're going to want to take it safe through the first couple of races here outside of Daytona. I see all the way down here is up to 20, so there's a bunch of drivers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 drivers with 20 or more incident points. So with that being said, you guys are going to want to try to knock that down as much as you possibly can. And that's going to involve maybe throwing a race away and just kind of riding it around and being safe and just trying to avoid anything that's in front of you, because that's the biggest thing. If you can get a 0x, that's going to completely offset what you've already got going for you as far as from Daytona.
Yeah, especially we got 90 laps next week, and then the race after that, 120 laps at Milwaukee. So, and Milwaukee is, I mean, it's a wide track. There's room where you can race and stay out of incidents and still be able to race without. But Chase is right. You guys might want to just kind of hang out in the back and ride around for a little bit, and maybe you'll get lucky at the end there. There'll be a caution, and then you can maybe race a little bit at the end. But I would say for the majority of it, you want to kind of just be as safe as possible, and yeah, I just think there's just a little bit too much aggression, I think, in the Daytona race. These cars get huge runs, especially on the super speedways, and just knowing what to do with the run. And maybe some guys just, a lot of these guys have been on iRacing for like 3 months. So, I mean, they're not used to it. They're still filling things out. But yeah, just good advice there. Just try to take it easy next couple races. And then after that, Chicagoland, another big track. It's where you can lower those incident points there.
Yeah, and I was watching the broadcast, and it reminded me, as far as from outside of the car, kind of how like you and I felt with the Gen 6 car, where they got these massive runs, and you get into the corner, and there was nothing you could do with it. A lot of
Right,
times,
right.
the guys, I saw a couple of people make contact in the corner trying to bump draft through the corner, and that's tough to do at a higher level of racing, let alone somebody who's brand new. I mean, you may not know how the guy in front of you is going to handle that bump in the corner. You know, there were times where Kern would get a bump onto me in the corner and it'd be fine. There was a time where I bumped him in the corner and he almost lost it. And there was times where he did it to me and I almost lost it. And we've been on the service for a little bit longer than some of these guys in the ARCA series. So you just got to be careful about, you know, especially at the super speedways, where you're pushing, how you're pushing, and how hard you're pushing, really.
Yeah, so we had a practice race at Vegas, which I purposely did just so these guys are beginning of the season, know these tracks and have some experience on them. And there was a lot of cautions in that, but I think maybe after these and then this first real race, they'll start to understand like how much space they need to leave around. And I know Bryce has said this plenty of times. If you do not have a look right and look left button, and you're on a single screen, please program one, because you can hit it real quick and you can see if there's a car next to you before you make the move, because there were quite a few not clear incidents is what I'm going to call them, that people just not clear and coming down or up a lane, or you're not aware exactly where the cars were around them. But anyways.
And there are also overlays that can give you that same information.
Yes.
You can have it right on your screen. There's like a light right on your dash that shows you when there's a car to your outside and to your inside. And it'll light up when there's a car outside or inside. It's another option.
My advice is the eye overlay one is the best one that I've seen. And it's two little bars on your screen, and they light up, and they show exactly. The bar gets bigger if the car's right beside you, but as they get it's like a meter that shows how far, if they're on your quarter, or if they're on your door, or if you're on your front fender, and if you're clear on the front fender before you move up. It's pretty valuable information. That's the only reason I have eye overlay still, is just for that feature.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, on to Vegas. Should be interesting. I know I got one guy I know I'm gonna pick, because I know he's gonna win a race this year. Joe Kachmar. He seemed to be fast in the preseason races. He had a rough Daytona, and I don't think it was really any of his fault. He got helicoptered in the air upside down in the first wreck, and it just got. I felt like it just kept building and building, but I know he's fast. I know he's going to be up there one of these races. So.
And
you got any picks?
I do. I want to see if I can find the driver, because I remember who won that race, and that was John Stapleton that won that race at Vegas.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm going to take John on that race. If he can duplicate what he was able to do in the preseason race, I think he's got a chance of getting himself his first race win for points, and put himself in a good position for week 2. Speaking of the points, I didn't really go over them yet, so we'll quickly go over the top 10, 15 drivers in the points. We've got Carson Smith in the first place position with Ryan Stevenson in second, Sean McLean in third, tied there with Scott Stotler, and actually Andrew Ziegler. All three of those drivers sitting at 39 points. Then tied for sixth, we've got Tyler Ballman and Brandon Dayhoff. In the eighth position, Robert Chiswick, and then Forrest Martin in ninth. James Polka and Jace Keller tied for 10th position right now in the points. Gregory Vadnais in 12th. Thad Miller 13th. Brent McKee 14th. And Josh Revel rounding out the top 15. And kind of close to that bubble for the chase. So good luck to everybody at Vegas.
It's going to be tight, too. You look at, I mean, it's early, but I mean, you can see a lot of these third through sixth, or those 6 or 7 guys right there are just like a point apart. It's gonna be pretty wild.
Even all the way back to 15th. I mean, from third, you're looking at 11 points from third to 15th. So it's early in the season. Plenty can go right and plenty can go wrong for all of these drivers. So patience is key for everybody who's in this league. Everybody, remember, you guys are all relatively new to the service and to the racing in this league. So just be patient. Work your way towards the front. The fast guys will get to the front as the season progresses, and they will put themselves in position to win the first ARCA championship.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
All right. And with that, we are just a handful of moments away from the Cup Series. Let's talk about what happened last week in the Cup Series at Richmond Raceway. It was the final race, the cutoff race for the round of 12 for the playoffs, and lots happened, but the number 12 makes it back and is able to get the race win and put himself locked in to the round of 8. And Bryce with a big-time win for him. I know he wanted to win at Dega and make it so it wasn't a big deal for him at all, but now he's got himself locked in going forward for the next 3 races at the very least with a race win. CD Mangrum came in second with Jose Mercado third, Mike Marini fourth, Brandon Dayhoff rounded out the top 5, Justin Nava sixth, Kevin Fry in seventh, and then Wilder, you were 8th with Tyler Lemon 9th and Ray Hanneman rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, it was a good race. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm trying to look at the results, but Bryce, yeah, Kern was fast. I know too. He had some issues. I think he had gotten some incidents. I took off. I thought I was gonna have a great race, but obviously in this car I'm not very good at saving tires because I shot out the cannon and was like in second place. I can't remember who was in front of me. I think maybe it was Kern or maybe it was Bryce. No, maybe it was Bryce. I can't remember. But I was in second or third, and then I just slowly just fell off a cliff after about 20 laps. And everybody, I don't know, at first stage I ended up way back there, like 12th or 13th, like towards the way back. And it was tough to keep that right front cool and comfortable and keep your car turning. But yeah, Bryce looked good out there, man. Usually does in most tracks, but he looked like he was doing pretty good this race for sure.
Yeah, he did a really great job of putting himself in a position to get a race win. He didn't need the race win; he just needed a good points day. But obviously, the race win always is preferred as far as that goes. So, a good race win for him there. He led 113 out of the 200 laps. So, I don't want to say dominant, but it was pretty dominant as far as that goes. He put himself in a good position throughout the entire race.
Yeah, I know those GTR guys. CD was quick. Seemed like at the first stage he was kind of laying back and they were just saving their tires. I think they're way better at this car than me, but they obviously showed their speed at the end. And Mercado was just kind of chilling. I think the whole race, just trying to get a good points day out of it. I think he may have finished third or so he was up in the top. I think but yeah, I mean I liked the cars on that track. I just wasn't prepared for the tire wear as it was, and these guys managed their tires very well to be up even in the top 5. So you gotta manage your tires there.
And the other thing about that track is, I mean, we saw it in the trucks a lot as well. Exit of 2, exit of 4 are both treacherous throughout all of the series that grace here in the NASCAR, any series really. And so that was kind of the bane of everybody's existence. A lot of drivers off of 2 with those cold tires would just loop it down into the inside wall. Big time damage for multiple drivers with that. Ray Hanneman, I think, had a moment that happened there. He was quick as well and put himself in scary position by hitting that inside wall. I think Kern got the inside wall once as well, which is what put him so far behind. Tucker, I think Tucker got involved in that as well. I'm trying to think of who else did. Lanford.
Lanford. Yep, Lanford was. I was chatting with him, and his tires were done after the first stage, so he was having trouble after that with that tire wear, and then after that tire wear, just keeping control of the thing. But I know, I came off of 2, and Tucker was high, got a little loose, and kind of hooked me. I hit the wall, and I got like 5 minutes of damage from that, and luckily I was able to get back a little bit to 8th, but I felt like I could have been top 5, but I got in a little too many incidents. I got into Ray. After that damage, the car just would not stop, and I got in the back of him, and then I got into CD. So, I had some incidents, but I mean, overall, I mean, it was a fun race. I liked the car on that track. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good race to broadcast as well. Lots of action going on between the self spins, the contact that was happening with short track racing as a whole, and yeah, it was a good race overall, and a good way to close out our round of 12 and onto the round of 8 we go. So I'm gonna pull up that screen here real quick, which I think I have to do here. Yeah, right here. Pull this up. All right.
Yeah, Bryce got a healthy lead now, huh?
Yeah,
33.
he had a lot of playoff points, 45 playoff points. That put him in a really good position.
Yeah.
Kind of taking a look at just the 8 drivers who are going to be racing for their way into the round of 4. Bryce Fontaine leading the way with all those playoff points. And then Kevin Fry has 6 points. Again, these aren't in any particular order. Ray Hanneman with 21. He had a hell of a round of 12. He got a race win at Talladega. He won 3 or 4 stages as well. So he put himself in the driver's seat for most improved through this round of 12 for sure. And then William Kern, he made it in. C.D. Mangrum, Mike Marini, and Jose Mercado. So all 3 of those GTR drivers making it in. And then Mason Tomlinson also making it in. So 4 of the Eternal drivers, 3 of the GTR drivers, and Kevin Fry make it into the round of 8.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the current one where the cut line is for the top 4. I mean, it looks like Bryce has a little bit of lead, and then the rest of them are real close. I mean, it's pretty tight past that. Ray, CD, Kern, Mercado, and Tomlinson, and even Fry's right there, and Marini. I mean, if he shows good and he can, pull up a little bit. Got Watkins Glen tonight. I think Bryce might be extending that lead a little bit, I think.
Yeah, if I saw that he was in a Discord chat with teammate Hanneman. Not sure if he's making the race or if he was just talking to him. But if he can make the race, a race win will put him into the championship 4 very easily. He's been very good at the road courses. Mercado also very good at road courses. But with Watkins Glen, it's kind of a bread and butter for a lot of oval racers because of how fast the track is. It's not like a typical road course. There is obviously the lefts and the rights, but it's more in the wheelhouse for an oval racer because of how fast that track is.
Yeah, I would say out of all of the road courses, it's the most familiar one to oval racers is probably Watkins Glen, I would say. So everybody knows it, everybody's raced it, and all these guys actually in the whole series, I mean, everybody was pretty talented, the top 10 for sure. These guys that are left are all pretty talented and probably can do pretty good at this track, but I'm going to take Bryce. I know Mercado and Hanneman probably have a shot, and even some of the other guys, like I said, they're all pretty talented. So who knows what can happen as far as incidents or whatever may transpire. But yeah, I'm picking Bryce.
Yeah, Mercado's a good pick. Mangrum, he won the Chicago Street Course, so he's not a bad pick either. Bryce, always a competitor at the road courses. Kern, I know that he's not a road racer really, but he's done well at Watkins Glen, if I remember right as well. I think he did well in the trucks in season 1, so he's a good one to pick. I am gonna go with Mercado though. I think he's got a chance to get the win here and put himself into the championship 4. It's a shoe-in if he can get to the lead and really hold off Bryce. So
yeah, I would say also I don't know if Tucker's racing tonight, but he could be a factor too, especially on this track.
Yep.
I know he has been preparing. There's a big Watkins Glen 6-hour race in GT3s this weekend. He's probably been on the track a lot, but in a different car. So we'll see. I know he's always decent in these road course races. So I mean, if he shows up, he may be a outsider. Outside this top 8, that can make a push. So should be a good race. I mean, I don't think I don't think you say that, but I hope somebody just doesn't run away with it. But it should be a nice, close race.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a battle. I mean, we've seen battles going on throughout the season on the road courses between Mercado and Bryce in particular. Those two have been the fastest throughout most of the season. But yeah, it could really come down to anybody. I mean, all it takes is for them, the two of them, to take each other out, and then it's anybody's race to win. I mean, you could be looking at a race win from Hanneman, a race win from Fry. Trying to look through the list. Justin Nava, he showed talent on this course in the trucks as well, so he's a factor in this race if you're not careful as well. So really, it could be anybody's race. Bryce is probably the favorite for this race, I would say. Mercado probably a close second, but realistically, it really could go down to anybody.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be out there tonight, but it's all right. I'll catch the race later tonight, and hopefully we have a good one.
Looks like we have 11 drivers for this race tonight, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. We'll see what happens, and I think 1, 2. I'm trying to see how many of the drivers that are in the playoffs are making it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 of the drivers saying they're going to make it tonight. So.
I think, oh no, Mercado does check in sometimes. I was thinking usually he doesn't check in. And
yeah.
Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. So he might be there.
He might be there as well. And then, no, that's right. Mercado, I think, said he was missing this week. He did tell me he was missing this week. I forget that he did say that. So if that's the case, I mean, I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not taking Mercado. I'm taking CD in that case, because CD's got a race win on a road course. So.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at the list, man, Hanneman, I wouldn't be surprised if Hanneman was up towards the front and had a chance to win at the end, not at all.
He's shown a lot of speed in the last 3 races. I think, is going to catch some people off guard. He's got a real opportunity to put himself into the championship with this round of 8, whether it be here or Pocono or Martinsville. Any of those 3 races, he should be able to strike. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But Mr. Wilder, I think that's going to do it here for the Turnin Laps podcast. We got 4 series done in about 45-ish minutes. Happy said it couldn't be done, but we powered through and got it done. But yeah, we'll be
short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Yeah, got it when you got this many series. But yeah, we got the Cup Series race coming on live here in about 20 to 30 minutes. The broadcast will be back up with that started up, and I'll be on the call for that one, so stay tuned for that. Then Sunday we got, like we said, Chicagoland. Monday is Rockingham for the Gen 6 and Las Vegas for the ARCA on Tuesday. And next Friday is an off week for the Cups for Independence Day here in the United States. So nothing going on there on Friday, but we will try to get a podcast in before that or after that, either Saturday or Thursday. We'll figure that out. Not sure exactly when. But with that being said, stay tuned for the race in a little while. We will see